Okay, today we are going to talk about my giant gel plate block. Okay, of all the questions I get on my gel plate videos, the one I get the most is about my giant acrylic block for my jelly plate. So this is an actual jelly plate. It is, I believe, 9 by 12. I'll put a link to it below. I have to say it's my favorite. It's big and it works amazing. So some things about this. First off, I bought a piece of acrylic, a big piece of acrylic that was 24 by 24, and I had my husband cut it up. Now, mine is not perfect. I think you could put water on it. There's 1,000 things you can do to cut it better, but I didn't really care about that. I just cared about having a way to store my jelly plates that was easier than how I was doing it. So I bought a really cool tin for some of them. I had you know, all different kinds of stuff, but it was not effective for me. I guess I'm not good at managing gel plates, but when I have these acrylic blocks, see, this one isn't perfect, but when I have these acrylic blocks, these guys fit right into a box I have that I put my acrylic gel plates in and all my extra you know, things that I use for texture and all that. And then my big one doesn't fit in that box, so I just keep it set up to the side in my IKEA thing. And because it's on this plate, it minds itself. I have the original piece that was on it. I think there were 2 of them. I think I cut the other one up. But this keeps it nice and safe. I love it. So today I'm going to show you why I like it. I think that you guys have seen glimpses of it, but I have never really like gone, oh, this is why I made this. Okay, so let's do something fun. I'm going to use some of my own little stencils here. Let's grab some paint. I think I want to do some weird colors. I hardly ever do weird colors. Oh, I got some nice colors. Okay, hold on. So I bought some nice colors for the pool. So it's going to be kind of a brownie one. Let's do something that's a little bit more neutral, right? Right? How about if we do kind of a green, like a nature one? Okay, I'm just grabbing every green I have. And do we want one other color besides green? I thought I got, oh, did I get? Nope. It's the old one. There it is. I got a gold. Okay, so we're just going to mess around. This is not anything that I expect to be fabulous or super fantabulous. I'm just trying things out because you guys asked me lots of questions about this. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to, you want to think about your gel plate as a big upside down thing. So I'm going to put gold paint on here. And I'm going to put lots of gold paint on here. Start to get it stuck down. And this is a little stencil I made with my Cricut Joy. I think it turned out great. It's a little hard to see. Okay. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to paint on here. Okay, so now this is what I like about it. So say I pull this up. And I want to see what it's going to look like so far, right? All I have to do is turn this over and I can see what it looks like so far. So what I realize about this is I did it forward, so it's going to be backwards on my page, which is fine with me. I don't mind that. Oh, I did do it backwards. I did it backwards. It's going to be forwards. I never do that. All right, so I'm going to put some more of this over here. I'm just going to kind of put it around on my page. I could brayer this on, but I want it to kind of be a little stripey and a little bit weird and not quite perfect. Okay, there we go. So now we have two not quite perfect gold things going on. That's fine. Now let's do something else. I'm just playing a wee bit. Let's do, what do I have out here? I have the best stencil stash. Okay, so we have circles. I'm not thinking circles today. I'm thinking fancier. I'm thinking fancy because we have gold. Hold on, let me see what I got that's fancy. All right, here's another cool thing when you're using this giant gel plate. You can pull out all your giant stencils. So I'm going to pull out my giant stencil. I'm going to put my sidewalk stencils back because that's not what I want to use today. I think I want to use, and I think this is a joggles stencil or a mask. They call them different things. But I'm going to do this. That isn't quite dry yet, but that's okay. I'm too impatient to do anything. Okay, I like this green better. So I'm going to use this green and grab my brayer. I know my brayer's around here somewhere. I seen them earlier. Okay, so I have a speedball brayer. And I thought I saw, oh, there it is. There is a littler Ranger brayer. But I'm going to, I think for this layer, do the speedball. So I'm gonna scoot some paint on here. And the reason the speedball is nice is it's nice and it's really soft. Like it's a super soft brayer. And there is a little paint skin that's jugged out with that. All right, so we're not gonna go over the whole of the gold, but I do want to go over it a little bit. What are you doing over here? Got yourself all hooked onto yourself, don't you? All right, let's get that curly cue back in place. We're not going to worry about that. Okay, so now we have this layer, and I'm just going to roll this out to the edges. Super cute. Oh, I think it's a mask because it doesn't have edges. Oh, look at me being brilliant. Okay. I like that Joggles. They're a nice place. They're an online shop, and as we see fewer and fewer of the big boxes carrying, you know, mixed media or crafting supplies, we gotta support our little guys. Otherwise, they won't be able to survive either. All right, what am I gonna do with this guy? I'm gonna put him on my pile of stencils. Okay, so he's cute. We got this thing going. Now we have to wait for it to dry. At least a little bit. Okay, so while we're waiting for it to dry, I'm getting out my big XL mixed media paper. And these are huge sheets. So the thing I'm going to do right this second is I'm just going to set this down. I'm not even going to push. And I'm just going to take a layer of that paint off, just a tiny bit of it off, so that we have a chance of it drying today. I live in Florida, and paint here takes forever to dry. But while we're waiting, what we can do is we can take a peek, and this will stick. This has really good stickage on this plate. We can see what's happening. Okay, so I like what's going on with this. I like this, but I think I want to frame this with something. Maybe I'll go back in with another green and do some of those. This is just gunk on my plate. Now there is some orange and some other bits still stuck on that other plate, but some of this is just, you might want to clean your acrylic occasionally too, which I think I would do with just a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol. That should take it off, and it shouldn't melt the acrylic. I'll try it. Okay, so I like what we're doing. All right, let's see if we're dry at all. That doesn't look dry at all. Okay, now we wait again. Okay, so this is one thing I do want you to know about when you have the have them on the acrylics. You can flip them off, put them back, flip them off, put them back, do all kinds of stuff, which makes you way more likely to do extra pieces, right? So I have to wait for that part to dry. So I'm just gonna come in here real quick, put a little bit of fish scales on here. And then I think I'm gonna do, I have these ridiculously big numbers that I love. Okay, so big numbers. So if we put them the right way, it'll be backwards. So let's do them the wrong way. I'm gonna put a layer of green, darker green on this because I'm trying to do not my normal, I do a lot of teal and orange and pink, or I do a lot of black. So I'm trying to do something besides those. I'm trying to be creative today. Oh, shake your paints, people. Can I just get that tattooed on my head? Okay, shake your paints. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. We're gonna do this. And the acrylic block, having that acrylic block means that I can just throw these around like they're a sack of flour, honestly. Where before what would happen would be I would get it stuck down onto my work surface, and you can't easily pick it up. I mean, I'm sure that you could pick it up and move it, or you could have a huge work surface, but I don't have a huge work surface. I have a relatively small work surface. So now let's see what's going on with this one. This one's gonna be a mess because we have lots of googs on both sides of the gel. So we're just gonna leave this one alone, let it dry. And maybe this guy dried up enough that we can do a little bit more on him. We're gonna try to be, do we wanna go back in with this? I think I'm gonna go back in with this. I probably need a little bit more green paint that I have. I have, this is a silicone, just a cooking mat that I bought thinking that it would be good for artsy stuff. And it's not great. I mean, I won't lie. I don't totally dig it. So now we're going over, and I'm just trying to kind of get a border more than anything on there. There we go. Let's get a border on this one. All right, there we go. Now, let's flip it over, see what's happening. Make sure we like what's going on. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I'm almost feeling like I want to use some of this green kind of here and there, higgledy-piggledy without a stencil. And I think I'm going to do this guy because I'm better at dinky-dinky-dinkying it. You want to try to get paint all over your roller. You got to move it around to get it going. And let's do just some organic bits. Is it going on the plate or is it just going on that? There we go. Now it's on the plate. There we go. And then we have one last color of green. Oh, I've used it. I was going to yell at myself to shake my paint. All right. So you got to get it rolling around that brayer. Okay, so let's do this. And this is just to get some of that color in those holes, because wherever it's clear, there won't be any color except the back color, right? So I don't want to cover it all. Maybe get my corners. Although we won't get the corners with the paper, it's too big. The plate's, is the plate too big? Can't remember. One dimension of the plate is too big. Yeah, it's just a little bit longer than my paper. Okay, so now we're gonna let this dry again. And do we want to do the green? See what happens if we do a full pull with the green? That could be fun. I usually use white. But if we cover this all with this kind of pale green, let's see what happens. Let's do a little testy test while we're waiting for the big one to dry. Okay. And I'll turn it over so you can look. But I'm here to tell you, you aren't going to see too much because it's covered in, this guy's covered in layers and layers and layers of paint. Okay, so here we go. Let's look. Yeah, we can't see much of it. So hopefully this time on this pole, I will get some of that taken off. Okay, so we want this to sit on here. We're going to give it time to soak in. I had a gal mention that you should let it sit for 5 minutes. I don't know if I'm a 5-minute kind of gal, but I can definitely let it sit for longer than I generally do. And I'm just making sure I get all around the edges. And we should be pulling some of that really good googs from what's already on the plate. All right, let's be patient. I'll fast forward the patience. Okay, let's try the pull. So, this won't work as well. Let's just pull it. This is just a play one anyways. I may actually have to clean this plate someday or just use it for my black grungy one, because these things constantly tear off the paper. There's paper stuck on here. So I should probably peel these little heavy duty googies off. But I will be using that in my art. That is amazing. I love the blue in the middle. Super grungy, super cool. Okay, so that's just a play piece. Boop, boop, boop. I'm looking for his cover. So you want to keep your covers. We're going to cover him up, throw him in the box where he lives. Okay. Now, let's look at our big plate and see if we like it. Ooh, that's kind of neat. What do you guys think? I want some more gold in here. I like the hints of gold, but I'm feeling not gold enough. So, I'll use the back of this one. I'm just trying to get some of this green off, not all of it. When I play in the studio, I cover everything with paint and googs. Okay, so So this should come through where the green isn't, right? because we're working upside down. And it may feel like a lot of gold, but it's going to be the back. It's only going to go on the places in the back where there isn't already green paint, right? Through that stencil or the mask. Okay, here we go. All right, let's take a look and see how it came out. Oh yeah, see, I think I'm going to like that very much. I almost feel like I want even more. I want this to be goldier. That's the beauty of being able to flip it over. There you go. Now there's more gold in that area. Ooh, I like the gold on the top. I think I'm going to like the gold on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to put on just a layer of this white acrylic paint, pretty heavy, and then I'm going to stick my paper down, and then we'll do the pull together. I don't want you to have to sit here the whole time. Okay, I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm always curious too how other people do their stuff. Some people do it on the side, but when I'm doing this final layer, I try to get paint, especially on this big plate, kind of laid out around the gel plate, so that I'm not trying to pull it. Like, this is just a layer to activate all the stuff underneath. So I don't want to have to move paint all around the gel plate. I can do the squirty squirt out and kind of get it moving around. You want to move pick your brayer up and move it around some. Okay, so now I'm getting to where it's almost looking like it's pulling it off again. So let's go ahead and put this down. And we are going to let it sit for a while. I don't know that I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes, but we're going to let it sit for a while. There isn't anything to pull off this plate. There's a couple of little goobers under there, not very much at all. Not like the other one. The other one has lots of stuff on it. And then the nice thing about this, this paper that I like is that it is bigger than my journal, right? So if I get a corner that I love, or if I have a corner I hate, I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to be able to cut it off. I did this the other day, and people asked me about it. What I'll do is I'll just grab something. This is Glamour paste, but it has a really nice bottom, soft bottom, like it's rounded. And what I'll do sometimes is, and there's an official tool that gel or mono printers use that is a actual like flat surface that they rub on it. But you can just grab any of your paint supplies that have a nice rounded bottom and rub on those. Okay. You're just trying to make sure the paper's in contact, really good contact with every part of your gel plate. Okay. Now, this is the thing about having the acrylic that I love. Okay, I'm not patient, but I can watch and see, is it pulling? And I can see right there by the orange part, it is not pulling. So let's grab our thing out of the drawer again. So maybe patient gel platers don't need to have the acrylic block. If you're patient and you wait 5 minutes, maybe it always works. But for me, I like that I can see if it's working. Okay, here we go. Let's try it again. I'm going to do this side instead. I did this side. Let's do this side. All right, is it coming? That's the old stuff. I don't know if I feel like it's coming off. It's a cold. It's a semi-chilly day here in Florida. It is probably 50, but you have to remember, I lived in Colorado. 50 in Colorado was a warm day. 50 in Florida, because the moisture count is so high, is a freezing day. So we're all freezing here. All right, let's try this again. All right, we're going for it. And it's fun to watch it from this side. I'll see if I can do it. It's hard to keep it so that you guys can see it. There we go. We got it. There we go. Ooh, I like that. That is something that, oh, see? I got some of that orange from an old pole. I also have a line from an old pole. So that is kind of cool. I wonder what I did that was lined up like that. Anyways, that is wicked cool. A little bit of blue here and there. And that's the fun of the gel plate. So here is what's left on it, right? You can see that there's still some blue in there. And then this, I mean, we could scrape this off. This is just where I've hit the edge. But I'm here to tell you that having this gel plate on this acrylic is an amazing way to get more use out of it, to be able to do more things with it. I definitely recommend it. It was not very expensive. It was like, I'm thinking $25. I went and looked for them online to like buy a piece of acrylic, cut the exact right size. And it was like going to be $18 or something like that. So I looked at the huge pieces of acrylic, which maybe you could take to Home Depot and have them cut it, right? But so it was about $25 for the entire 24 by 24 sheet. I did every single one of my gel plates with an acrylic on it, I think except for two of the little ones. They just didn't work. For $25, where just this one would have cost about $25. So it's definitely worth it. I'll put a link to there. I'll put a link to all the supplies I used today in the bottom, and hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.